The FBI says the suspect who rammed his pickup truck in the Temple Israel Synagogue in Michigan earlier this month was inspired by Hezbollah, and officials warn the lone wolf label is misleading. I've seen some odd attempts to explain away, or even lessen, this terrorist attack by claiming that he was an isolated lone wolf. But that is misleading. Terrorist propaganda is designed to activate the so-called lone wolf to act on behalf of the terrorist organization. So the FBI also says the suspect made a video before the attack saying he wanted to kill as many of them as I possibly can, meaning Jews. This while the terror threat continues to rise as the DDA to shut down drags on. Let's bring in former counterterrorism analyst and U.S. Treasury Department person Jonathan Schanzer. Jonathan, so we have the Hezbollah, we have a guy whose brother was killed over in Lebanon by the Israelis, and this guy with links to Hezbollah. The question is, why didn't we get him ahead of time rather than why didn't we, how do we miss the clues? Yeah, I think it's a great question. It turns out the Israelis were able to identify his brother immediately. Ibrahim Ghazali was apparently a senior guy in the Badr unit. These are the guys that are firing missiles and rockets at Israel from the south of Lebanon, where the Israelis are currently widening their war. I think it should have probably popped up on this guy's record as soon as he came to the United States. His family, I think, almost certainly aware of everything that has gone on, what was happening with his brother back in South Lebanon. And so he was killed about a week before the attack, and this guy apparently spent a week planning this. Curious to learn about who knew what he was doing leading up to that attack. So, as you're saying, Jonathan, we know his sister knew. Constantly sending videos. We saw the press conference, video after video. After a while, she said, stop sending me these videos, but he kept doing it. What responsibility does the sister have to speak up? Well, that's for the FBI, I think, to start to dig into right now. Was she actually an accomplice? That's something that the FBI can ascertain just from probably a few hours of conversation with her and looking through emails and phone conversations and the like. So, I get the sense that this thing is certainly not done. I'm curious about who else in his immediate surroundings knew what he was up to. But again, he had a guy that was living here in this country whose brother was a senior Hezbollah commander. If you're looking for a possible lone wolf, if you're looking for a sleeper cell, it's not hard to find. How about people that say, well, he was grieving because his brother died because of Israel. His brother died because he was a Hezbollah commander shooting rockets into Israel. That's a ridiculous statement. Yeah, look, I'm sure the guy was grieving, but that doesn't obviously give him an excuse to go out and try to blow up a bunch of toddlers at a preschool in a synagogue. That's insane. That's not an explanation for what just happened. Look, there are I think a lot of people that have a lot of grievances right now, people who are upset about the war, but you don't see them going out and blowing themselves up, shooting themselves when their attacks fail. This is just an insanity here in the way that it's been described. Jonathan, just from the outsider, I'm just hoping that we look at other brothers of Hezbollah commanders that might be living here somewhere that we maybe keep an eye on without breaching their privacy. Do you sense that we're doing that? Yeah, look, I'm concerned about the shutdown. I'm concerned about funding. I'm concerned about the FBI getting pulled in lots of different directions. From what I understand right now, we may be taking our eye off the ball, and I think we're probably going to need to refocus here. I do think that what happened in West Bloomfield was a wake-up call. I am sure that there are other sleeper cells or lone wolves or family members of Hezbollah, family members of Iranian officials, IRGC officials. This is the time to be vigilant here. We've got a war happening overseas. Tensions are running high. This would be exactly the moment for the FBI and Homeland Security to dig in more. I hope they get the resources that they need. Jonathan, thanks so much. Me too. I appreciate your time tonight. I'm Steve Dusing. I'm Brian Kilney. And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.